Yeah, one of the other issues with regard to morality, that kind of goes to value of life, but this claim that you can't have morality without, a God in God's little guidebook. The fact of the matter is that everybody goes about determining their morality in exactly the same way. You don't get to pretend that just because you have accepted this moral guidebook that you have done so because of divine authority. How do you tell the difference between things attributed to God and things attributed to the devil? I mean, if you read through, for example, the Christian Bible, there's plenty of things that are attributed to God, which I consider to be immoral, both in action and in deed, or in words. The truth of the matter is that you've gone through and you've read it and you've said, I judge this to be good. And then you've kind of taken the shortcut, and once you've made that decision, you presume that everything else in there is also good, which is just the lazy man's way of dealing with morality. And the honest truth is that everybody goes about doing it in exactly the same way. Everybody determines,
we don't stone unruly teenagers to death.
Yeah.
We just don't do it. And if you ask people, why don't you follow this law in the Old Testament, then what they say is, well, that's the Old Testament, and God's law overrode that. But they don't say it overrode the Ten Commandments. So obviously there's some kind of standard going on which is not specifically mentioned in the Bible. Going through the Old Testament, there's a lot of stuff that might sound frankly barbaric, and I've heard people go through all kinds of good reasons to disregard them. But I mean, basically, it comes down to you've got a standard which isn't the Bible. You've got your own ideas about what's right and wrong, and when you read a passage like, Jesus saying, if you would be good, then sell all your belongings and go be a hermit, or whatever he said. Sell all your belongings and go give your money to the poor and spend the rest of your days being broke and doing good works. You are free to think, well, obviously Jesus didn't mean that for me, because you don't just take the Bible as your morality source.
The passages say what they say. No debate, no discussion. They say what they say. The difference is in the person. And it's the reason why you have thousands of different denominations of Christians. It's the reason why one person can look at this and say these things are immoral and these things are moral, and somebody else can disagree with them. I look at this and I say there are tons and tons of immoral things here. There are some morally good things in here. The difference is I don't need to accept any of this as an authority, because I recognize that the judgment in determining what's moral and immoral here comes from me. And as long as that's the case, I can chuck all of this and still keep, the things that I think are good and the things that I think are evil can be dismissed.